So in preparing for this today, I have armed myself with a list of the kind of things that I might want to use in my work for my exam. And obviously, whilst I'm practicing, I must make sure I am using these structures over and over again. So we're going to do a task which appears on both foundation and higher tier papers. It's approximately 90 words long, so 4 bullet points in at least 3 tenses, and you should be aiming to write at least 23 words per bullet point. Some will be longer, some possibly slightly shorter. Wouldn't go too far over about 120, 130 words for this task. As I say, worth 20 marks. So our theme is the town, and here is the task. Finally, I would say my list above was a very quick list. It misses off comparatives, superlatives and lots of things. It was just to give me a bit of a base for doing this today. Now, all the instructions are always printed in German. Don't let that put you off. You can write on the instructions. You will have a choice of 2 tasks. So you will do the task that you think will be easier for you to use your German with. Right, so it's an informal task that'll always be to somebody your own age. You can use du, and the instructions also use du. Okay, or deine, du. Right, so what is asked for here? Dein Austauschpartner David möchte Informationen über deine Stadt. Du musst diese Punkte einschließen. You must include these points. Wo du wohnst. Wie es in deiner Stadt, deinem Dorf für Jugendliche ist. Was du neulich in deiner Gegend gemacht hast. Ob du in der Zukunft in deinem Dorf, in deiner Stadt bleiben wirst. So that's a where you live. That is how it is for young people. Neulich is recently, what you have recently done in your region. And whether, as in WHETHER. You will, we've got future tense here. I found it. That shows me it's future tense. Whether you will stay, as the bleiben, in your town in the future. So bearing those things in mind, I have to write the task. I would always write this task chronologically. The first bullet point asks me to say where I live. My example today is likely to be slightly longer than yours. It's just to demonstrate lots and lots of different types of structure. So, where you live. So it's going to be present tense. So I'm going to start off by saying that I live... why isn't that working? I live in a... I won't do Crowborough. I'm going to do in einer Großstadt. I'm living in a city, that's a T at the end, which is called Crowborough. Now for that I need a relative clause. So Großstadt is feminine, so which for feminine is die. I'm going to say that I live in Croydon. Ich wohne in einer Großstadt, die Croydon heißt. Okay, so I've actually answered the bullet point, but it's actually only about 10 words long. So I need to give a bit more detail in order to meet my 20 or so, 23 or so words. So I'm going to say Croydon lies in the south of England, near to London you could add, in der Nähe von London, liegt im Süden von England. Try and get these things learnt and right. I could say in der Nähe von London, but I actually think I'm going to say it's only a stone's throw, nur einen Katzensprung von London. So you could use either. I'm using Katzensprung because I wanted some nice vocabulary. Okay, so how many words have I got there? I've only got 19 words and I wanted to get up to about 23, so I'm actually going to add up here. I have lived for. Now remember, seit is always used with present tense here. Ich wohne seit 15 Jahren, so that's got me out to about 22 words. So I think I'm just going to have to use that for now. I can always come back and add more if I need to. Second bullet point was to say what your town or village is like for young people. I'm going to start with word order 2 because I started paragraph 1 with word order 1. So I'm going to say, personally, I find Croydon something special. So persönlich, now it's not going to be ich finde because it's word order 2, so it's going to be finde ich. Croydon, I'm going to find it something special. Now, what was something? Oh, yes, it was etwas. And then my word afterwards has to have a capital letter. Etwas Besonderes. It's something special. I could say why. Actually, I think this time I'm going to put a full stop. And I'll put a why somewhere else. So I want to say for young people, for junge Leute, or I could say Jugendliche, but I'm going to say for junge Leute, it's the same thing. There are lots of sporting activities. So word order 2, because I've got for junge Leute at the start, gibt es viele Sportmöglichkeiten. Actually, I seem to recall learning a selection of sporting activities. Well, I think I might use that now. Selection, it started with an aus, oh yes. Choice, Wahl, my option subjects, eine Auswahl, and I have to use this word after it, and it's followed by dative, but that isn't a problem here. It's the same. There's no word change. And Sportmöglichkeiten. Okay, so there are a selection of sporting activities. I'm going to say like, which is wie in German. What am I doing? I'm moving my writing about. Wie Tennis oder Rugby. I've probably got about enough words there. Actually, it's more like about 20 words. I still need some words. Right, I want an additionally here. So I've learned 3 words for additionally. Today I'm going to use außerdem. So additionally, you can visit, I don't know, Wembley Stadium in London. So außerdem kann man Wembley Stadium besuchen. Actually, I think my teachers taught me something better than man can. Man hat die Gelegenheit, and I've got to use it with a zu. Hang on a sec. If I'm using außerdem, it's not going to be man hat die Gelegenheit. It's going to be außerdem hat man, because it's got to be word order 2. Die Gelegenheit. Comma after Gelegenheit. Wembley Stadion zu besuchen. Now I've got to have the zu because I've got man hat die Gelegenheit. Now I've definitely got enough words here. So yes, I've got my words, but I haven't used much linking, so I'm going to put a because it's a great experience. Weil es ist ein tolles, no, that's not right. Weil es ein tolles Erlebnis ist. I could use unvergessliches Erlebnis. It's one of my favourites. There we go. Verb at the end because of the weil. So third paragraph, past tense. Say what you have done recently in your area, and I would just use that old sort of frame of last weekend I did this and who I did it with. So last weekend, so letztes Wochenende. I could say habe ich viel gemacht, but I'm not going to here. It might take me over my word count. So letztes Wochenende habe ich. I'm going to say I travelled to London, or I went to London, or I did something, but I can't have went because I've used habe. Habe ich mit, I'm going to say with my brother, mit meinem Bruder, einen Stadtbummel, I love that word, einen Stadtbummel in London. I can't have gegangen because I used habe. In fact, gegangen wouldn't work anyway. You do a bum around town. So there we go. That's my first sentence. So what did I do first of all? Oh, I love Madame Tussauds. So I'm going to say that I went to Madame Tussauds. So first of all, I visited Madame Tussauds. So word order 2. Zuerst habe ich Madame Tussauds, because it's French, Tussauds. And then visited is besucht. We don't put the GE on there. I'm going to give an opinion here, and I'm going to give my past tense opinion. Und ich fand, or actually I'm going to use dachte. Und ich dachte, comma, Und ich dachte, that doesn't look very much like a dachte, dass es, what could I say? I think it was funny. Sehr lustig, besonders lustig, total lustig war. Okay, what did I do next? And then afterwards, und danach, I visited Big Ben, habe ich Big Ben besucht. Oh, hang on, I've already used besucht. I think I'll use besichtigt here, because actually, when I last saw it, it was still covered in scaffold. Habe ich Big Ben besichtigt. Oh, and I'm going to use one of my lovely words here. Das war ein Augenschmaus. It was a feast for the eyes. Das war ein Augenschmaus. Again, meiner Meinung nach war das ein Augenschmaus. It's probably more complicated. And I want to finish my past tense off by saying, all in all, it was a perfect day. Alles in allem war es ein perfekter, oh, actually, I'm just going to say ein toller Tag. Okay, so last bullet point. So last bullet point was future tense. It started with this word here, ob. And it's ob du in der Zukunft in deiner Stadt oder in deinem Dorf bleiben wirst. I haven't quite written the whole instruction out. Okay, so how would I tackle this? So it's got to be future tense. Let's think. I know I'm not going to stay in Croydon because Croydon's really far too expensive. Anywhere near London is far too expensive. So I'm going to use from the instruction. Oh, gone to yellow. Didn't mean to do that. So in der Zukunft, I will not stay in Croydon. Werde ich nicht in Croydon bleiben. I could, instead of in der Zukunft, use wenn ich älter bin, wenn ich 20 bin oder später, later. So where was I? In der Zukunft werde ich nicht in Croydon bleiben. So I'm not going to stay in Croydon because the houses are too expensive, weil die Häuser zu teuer sind or weil es zu teuer. And then, of course, with weil, it's got to be a ist or a sind or something like that at the end. I will live in a city like Brighton. Yes, it's much more exciting. So, ich werde in einer Stadt wie Brighton wohnen. And I could say because it is more exciting. Yeah, why don't I? Weil es more exciting, no. In German it's got to be, it's exciting-er, isn't it? Aufregender, because it more exciting-er is. So weil with ist at the end. In fact, I've used lots of vials. Let's use a da, as it is more exciting. That's a da. Da es aufregender ist. And I'm going to say, I could say, and there is more to do. Actually, I think I'm all right with my word count. I'm not sure I'll be adding any more. I'm going to use an additionally because I want to show that I can link my sentences. Noch dazu, the public transport is better now. With noch dazu, so I'm going to say die öffentlichen Verkehrsmittel sind besser, but with noch dazu I've got to do word order 2, so it's noch dazu sind die öffentlichen Verkehrsmittel besser. And I want you to get used to using and I am looking forward to it or and I am not looking forward to it. So in your future tense, always put und ich freue mich sehr darauf. Right, there we go. Hopefully I have met my word count, particularly on the last couple of bullet points. Over to you. You have a go writing about where you live.